Thank you. Good morning. I'm Alain Jean from Comcast. I'd like to talk a little bit about DHCPv6 and what I call the State of the Union. So when I joined Comcast about 3 years ago, we looked at DHCPv6 and it was really in a bad shape. The RFC was out, but there was not really a usable implementation. There was not a single product that we could buy. And it was a bit of a problem because we live and breathe for DHCP, so moving on to IPv6, DHCPv6 was going to be something important to us. So we have been working with a number of players and getting some product off the ground, and we have been doing some tests. So last year we did the first bake-off just before the IETF in Prague, and we did the second one before the IETF in Vancouver. So this is a picture from the bake-off in Vancouver. So last time around we had 8 vendors coming and 14 different implementations. This is done in the spirit, of the old interop, so we do not publish the detailed results. We try to give some general overview. So I will not give the exact names of the implementations, but if you're interested, you can come and talk to me. We have 6 different DHCPv6 servers that we have been using, 5 different DHCPv6 clients, and 3 different relays. So some companies have one of each, some have even multiple servers, and a total of 15 participants. What you can see is a picture of a room with 15 people in it. It was actually very crowded. There were a lot of cables and a lot of laptops and a lot of people for about 2.5 days. So quickly, some findings. When we had the first bake-off last year before the IETF in Prague, we had it at the RIPE NCC in Amsterdam. And most things worked at the time, but there were a number of clarifications that were needed, like how the relays were really supposed to work. Because essentially this is taking a DHCP message and tunneling it through the infrastructure to the final server. So all those clarifications have been essentially done now. And we found some bugs, that's expected. But the bugs were like really minor bugs and were like just like programming errors. So most of them were quickly fixed on site. And the stuff is now really ready for production. So there might be some little caveat left and right, but most of it is now usable. We had now both some commercial and some open source products that are available. We have at least 2 major open source products that pass all those tests with some flying colors. And that was really, really good. We are seeing some DHCPv6 clients being integrated with operating systems, but this is a little slow, so we are pushing really hard to get all the different OS that you can run on your laptop or things that you can run on home gateway or on any kind of device that will use IPv6. We're getting there. So, well, last slide on this one are the next steps for us. So we are going to have a third DHCPv6 bake-off in March. That will be March 7th, 6th, and 8th in Philadelphia. That will be the week before IETF. So it's again 2.5 days. Seems to work well for us. And after that, during the IETF, there's going to be an IPv6 hour, just like here at NANOG, that Randy explained earlier on. And we will do address assignment for DHCPv6 on the IPv6 only wireless network. So that we provide much more coverage and much more people will be able to use this thing. The goal being that starting IETF 72 and further, DHCPv6 address assignment will be part of a normal and expected network. Today they use DHCPv6 only to carry the address of the DNS server, so we would like to also have the address assignment done. And we have been working with some more vendors to get this stuff integrated so we could all use it from our own laptop. But really the point I wanted to make today is we have gone a really long way since the last couple of years. We now have some code that is fairly solid, that is really usable, and can just all take it. That's it.
Excellent. Thank you, Ala. Looks like we have a question from the mic.
Yeah, just a quick comment. Michael Sinatra from UC Berkeley. The servers and clients are doing well. One thing I found that's still pretty spotty is the relay agents. You've got implementations that have good servers but don't support the relay agent. You've got certain routers. Some routers support relay agents and some don't. So it's still kind of hard to scale some of this stuff. I just want to throw that out.
The relay space is where we saw the most problem at the first bake-off. From all the people who came at the first bake-off and came at the second, most of those problems have now been fixed. But as I mentioned earlier, we had about 8 vendors. I do not claim that we represent all the possible vendors on the planet.
Excellent.